What up, what up, what up? It's your girl Simply Becca here to give you another update of what's going on with me. So, I'm here with the story time because this morning I got a call that I was not prepared for. Many of you that follow me, many of you that know me, many of you that know anything about me, you know that I own a business, Royalty Hair Dynasty, trademarked, owned by me. Let's just start with that. Needless to say, I got a phone call this morning because there was another entrepreneur that was interested in starting their own business and basically wanted to start with the same name I had. There is literally one word difference, and if you don't have your business trademarked or registered with the Secretary of State, then you're not going to know many of the ins and outs of it. But that's why it's important to do your research first. So Royalty Hair Dynasty has been trademarked for years now. I actually reserved it first, and then I went and registered it so that way I could have my name secured for my company when I was ready to debut. So basically, what happens when someone else wants to utilize a name that's remotely similar, if not identical to yours, and they're trying to legalize a business, they have to go through the Secretary of State. Doesn't matter what state you're in. Secretary of State is who you have to go to for business information and requests. And because I registered my name, they then directed her to contact me for a letter stating that it's okay to utilize the name. Now, you have to know, because I didn't know this and I had to do my research, and I talked to one of the ladies in the office of the Secretary of State here in my state, so that way I could make sure that I was on the right path. And you in no way, shape, or form have to consent to that. Basically, what happens is they have to get permission in order to use the name because it's so similar, especially when you guys are in the same field of service. So for me, I've been in a situation where in 2014, I started my business, planned everything out. I had a massive business plan. I'm talking about 20-some pages long, no lie. I had a thick 3-ring binder, this thick, and I was just moving back to Nebraska from Florida. So instead of taking my binder on the plane with me like a genius, I put it in a box with the rest of my business stuff and put it at the bottom. Somehow or another, the box got completely destroyed, and my whole business plan, binder and all, everything that I worked so hard for, was misplaced. I went through the proper precautions to try to get, hey, file a claim or whatever you want to call it. Nobody ever found my stuff. And so I had to chalk that up to the game. A couple of years later, not even a couple years later, actually it was like 1 year later, I started again under a different business name. And that name, I did not register, and it got stolen. So all the hard work and things that I was planning in the background was outshadowed because I did not have this name now. Someone had taken the name, started their own company, so on and so forth. So from those two incidents, I had to learn the hard way. If you have a business and you have a business name or you're not in the phase where you're actually established, what you really need to do is not tell nobody what your name is and what your plan is until you legalize your stuff, because that way you know for sure. And check with SOS, Secretary of State. They have a free way to check. You can email them, you can call them. I did an email and I screenshotted the email so I could have it for my records, that the name was still available and no one was in this particular entity working with this type of name in the service that I was offering. So I did my homework, I did my research. Fast forward to today, the girl wanted me to give her a letter of consent, which is directions from SOS, stating that it's okay to use the business name. And I thought long and hard on it. At first I felt some type of way because I was like, my blood, sweat, and tears, oh no! And after speaking with several people, the team, it's not about the blood, sweat, and tears that I actually put into my business, okay? It's not about that. The reality of the fact is business is business. And it's not to stop anyone from pursuing their dreams, but at the same time, business is business. It's first come, first serve. So I'm not here to bash anyone. I appreciate her for even taking into consideration to call me and ask me. But at the end of the day, the answer is no. I'm not going to say it's okay for you to come up with an almost identical name to my company and work in the same field that I'm working in when my business has been trademarked for years and yours is not established yet. If you did your research, you would have seen that the name was not available, or because of the different regulations and sectors within the law, here in our state of Nebraska, you cannot have the same name. You can't even remotely have the same name unless you can be able to prove reason why you should be able to operate under that name. And I feel like I'm putting this out here as a lesson, not just for myself, but for others who are trying to start a business. Like, you got to do your research. A lot of people are in these groups on Facebook and Instagram and even Clubhouse. And it's like, all of that sounds great, but you got to do your research based off of your state, not based off of mine, not based off of the next person's. Do your research. Figure out what it takes. And if you don't feel like doing the research, hire somebody. Save your little coins, hire somebody. Because there are people out there that will do it for you.